Well, hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panel as the one and only Bridgeman and Big Ulster. How are we doing, big man?
Hey, I'm doing very well. Thanks very much, mate.
Good to hear you, mate. How are you, Bridge?
Magic, pal. Can I just say a big good evening to you guys on the panel and to a big good evening to all the boys in the lobby, to all the Rangers fans listening all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Right, we've had quite a lot of things happening in Rangers world. If we go at Sunday out with system, Big Ulster.
No, not quite yet. Still a wee bit down about it yet, but looking at the positives now, it's got to that stage where we're getting over the upset part, trying to look at the positives from it, mate, and trying to move on as quickly as possible. I think that's the sort of stage I'm at. Still not fully over it, but not just as quite as bad as it was on Sunday.
Be yourself, Bridge.
Yeah, I was feeling quite good last night, to be honest. Still a wee bit down, of course, because it was them, but I think in general, I'm still very happy. The big picture. Aye, I'm thinking so. We've brought in quite a lot of people, but they've got to bleed in. They've got to get bled in. A couple of boys played. Was it today they played and they get beat? Or was it yet last night? But whenever it was, anyway, the young centre half. So I'm really keen getting everybody, shall we say, the manager and his team, getting everybody and letting them go for it. One thing that concerns me is that our goalkeeper, who's at the present moment you could say is our prized asset, and Ryan Jack are going to be playing for. They're in the Scotland squad. Don't know whether they're going to be playing or not. I don't know whether that's a worry or not, because I'm always get concerned if somebody gets an injury. But we can do without any more injuries. Let's put it that way.
We'll see where that takes us, mate. I thought Ryan Jack might have no went because he obviously come off. I thought he might have had a knock, and obviously you think Big Alan's calf would be sore. You know, when he stretched at that time, when he sort of bumped into the guy, you know, he might have stretched his calf in that Bridge, you know.
Stretched it. I love that. I love it. It could be, but it could be. But no, they've got it to look forward to. I don't know if we'll get any other players. We'll get. I think
the Buffalo's away to Colombia.
Yeah. He's away with the Colombian side of things. I don't know if there's any.
That'll be good to Big Ulster. That'll be a good thing for inter-Colombian Scotland relations, because they have got a passion for some of the same stuff, you know.
I know.
Very good.
It's good though. It's good, isn't it, though, that we're getting back to a stage where, you know, we've got international players. You know, we've been missing that for a long time. We haven't had that sort of class of player, but it's good to see, and good for young Morelos as well. That'll add his experience.
I have to admit, Ulster, I do apologise to everybody that listens to me, and some of them will moan like hell, but I honestly don't really want any of our players to play for Scotland. I really don't. Don't mind that. I love them to play for all the other countries, be recognised. I just feel that in this little cesspit we're in at the moment, our players are not getting the proper recognition.
You know, I get it. I get that, Bridget. It's really, really sad, isn't it?
It's really upsetting. As you know, I think at the times I went to Hampden to see Scotland, it's just, and you're probably yourself going down to London and so on to see them in Wembley. You know, I find it just abhorrent. I just find it just abhorrent.
Also, I can't stand these international breaks, mate. I can't stand them. I don't know how they can play the one game on the Thursday or the Wednesday, and then we go back and play football and league football the following week when it used to be. Like, I just don't get when they get out at one friendly and then a game on the Monday. I just don't get it. Ulster, you any thoughts on it?
Oh, well, I like it. They're not so friendly. Well, it's not really friendlies. I think this is a new thing they're trying now. It's still hard to work out exactly how it works. But I think it's something like a tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it basically helps you, instead of having meaningless friendlies that can affect your coefficient, it's like wee mini tournaments now to sort of have teams that are in the same sort of bracket. So instead of having maybe silly friendlies, I don't know, like Gibraltar having to play Spain and getting a tanking, and their coefficient going down, I think it's going to give Gibraltar maybe games, I don't know, say like Liechtenstein, and maybe competitive games that they have, both teams sort of have a chance in, and things like that. I think that's what they're trying to do with it. But it's good as a Northern Ireland perspective, because we're doing pretty well. We do well in these wee games at the minute. We're in an era that we're not doing too bad. So I think that's why we have the enjoyment. I think where the problem is with like yourselves there and the boys in Scotland is you haven't really got a team that you really want to back, because there's so much, there's a wee, like a hatred, or we want to say that word. It's like a hatred.
Politics. They're trying to take. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah,
they're trying to take.
That's what I'm saying. So it's putting you actually off it, actually, which is sad. See, from me looking from the outside, it's very sad to see. But listening to you, especially up and we talk about these things, I can see why the Rangers support feel the way they do about the international side. And
obviously, Bridge, you've looked at this new tournament that you would need to be a Philadelphia lawyer to sort out. I don't.
Yeah, it's just fancy. It's just fanciful. They're playing. I think one of the games, the first one they're playing is at Belgium and Friday night or something like that, or whenever it is. My God, and then they're going down to play Albania, and that's that's part of that competition. So it's really difficult for them. I have to say that against Belgium, as if the whole Belgium team turn up,
maybe if only 5 or 6 of them turn up, we might get a decent game.
Might get a decent game. That's only 5 or 6 players, that is,
That's what I mean.
No, I have to say it, and I do apologise to everyone that if I'm going to seem kind of down on Scotland. Well, I don't really mean to be down on them. I just don't want to know anything about them, really. I'm one club only now. One club only.
I struggle to want anybody to win. It's got Brown and Griffiths praying for them, just classless individuals, in my personal opinion, of course. Right, so we move on. Obviously, there's been a controversy surrounding Alan McGregor, and I think you summed it up superbly last night, Bridge, when you said obviously he was trying to get himself up on his feet, and his foot slipped, and it was never a red card. So that's
the panel. Sorry, the panel they've agreed. It's on the red card. They need to bite their tongue and go on with it.
I thought he had a touch of the cramp. You get a bit of cramp in the leg, you just have to straighten that leg out, stop the pain. I think that's maybe had something to do with it. Could have been, mate. Could have been. But we move on. We move on, and we take our medicine on the park, and some disgusting scenes off the park with people being assaulted and attacked, and obviously organised criminality, mate, that we've not had any trouble in the last few years, and all of a sudden it's rearing its head again with some of these idiots from the other side of the city. I believe one of a young boy was stabbed trying to protect his father, which is really, really sad, and I hope him and his father are both all right. Yeah. Very sad.
But also, when you're dealing with a club that maybe incite some of the players and inciting some of the trouble in it. Look, we've took our medicine the last few years. We've had to watch them celebrate Ibrox. We've had to watch them celebrate at Hampden, and we take it. But where did that come from Sunday? Unless somebody sent me the theory that they had to do a lap of honour because it's the only time they'll see some of the supporters in that stadium, Ulster.
Exactly, mate. I think that's the first time this season that they've been sold out. It's just the usual, you're getting told by their support that you're not Rangers no more, you mean nothing. You're getting told by their players that you're a million miles away, can't touch us. But then when you beat the Rangers, not only is the fans flooding in to come and see the game, they're also supporters are doing tours around the ground as if they've won a cup. And this is coming from a team that's not even top, because Hearts are top, but they're still doing flipping things around the pits and all. So it's just pathetic, and it defeats their own purpose. Because if they actually hadn't turned up, if they hadn't have turned up while this fixtures came back in the top flight, if they hadn't have actually turned up to the games and showed no interest like they do in most league games at Parkhead, maybe we could have took them seriously. But I think the way that they sell their ground out against us, it defeats their own purpose and what they're trying to say.
Bridgeman.
I can't take anything away from what Ulster's saying. It's a God's honest truth. That how can I say it? My fear, and I have to say this, my fear is if the SFA and SPFL do not stop Celtic doing this, they don't do it with any other team. They don't do a lap of honour and then run up and go at the other supporters. No, that was supposed to stop with the Motherwell. I thought the Motherwell time their fans come on and go to the Rangers fans, I thought all that was all going to stop. But there's the players, the whole squad out there running up towards the Rangers fans and the Rangers fans running down to them, you know. It's just no right, because they fans could easily jump over that fence and cause havoc, maybe injure one of their players, God forbid, you know, because they'll end up in the jail, that's for sure. That's no right. And that club should be told, and their manager should be told, don't allow your players to do that. Simple. Don't do it. In fact, they should just come out and say, when the game's over, get off the park, finished. Done. And that's all stop. That's what the rule should be. Referee blows the final whistle, everybody shakes their hands and go off the park. You're not allowed back on again. That's what I would say.
I think it's up to the ones in charge of our game. You know, as you know yourselves, I'm not a Linfield supporter, but obviously that game against Linfield, again, Lee Griffiths gets his Celtic scarf out and ties it to the Windsor Park post. Knowing that it's going to incite hatred, is going to incite trouble, is going to incite fighting. Obviously, that ended up happening. I think he got in trouble for that. This isn't the first time he's done this. He's done it, come out as a supporter with tricolours. He's tied Celtic scarves to the posts, and now he's running over to our support, swinging a scarf around. The police then had to deal with an incident. You've seen the supporters reacting in the heat of the moment. And I think it's time now the Scottish people sorted this out and nipped it in the bud, because I think if you'd seen Andy Halliday or anyone like that doing something similar at Parkhead, nodding the way he has been doing, I think it'd be nipped in the bud a long time ago.
Ulster, Andy Halliday gets sent off for fist pumping in the middle of the park. Never mind running over the other fans. Just get.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
What they're doing.
But what I will say is classless individuals, mate. Yeah, classless individuals. Don't forget it. Yeah, bullies, and eventually bullies unravels, and then they don't like it, and maybe this will be the year, mate.
But can I just say, I would like to emphasise this one thing: the police and Celtic Football Club and the SPFL or whomever arranged the away fans to be kept in there until such times as the stadium was gone. Right, until the fans were all emptied. So it would take about 15 minutes. While that 15 minutes is on, these loonies are doing a lap of honour, and the reason for doing all this was to stop any conflagration between the fans and anything else. But all their fans are still there cheering them on, and they're doing a lap of honour, and the Rangers fans are kept in to go through this. That's no right. In anybody's language, that isn't right. They need to come up with a better solution if they're going to try to pen fans in and hold them there. They've got to get it the other way around. You know, if the team's going to do a lap of honour and go around there, and part of that lap, there's going to be opposition fans, and they have to say, right, we can't do it. We can't go anywhere near them. Simple as that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get that's actually true, Bridge. You're right, because basically the way they were told was after the Rangers fans will have to stay 15 minutes after the game. Everybody was informed of that before kick-off. So 15 minutes after the game, to let obviously the Celtic sport sort of get out of the road and it'd be a safe passage out. Ended up being it was nowhere near 15 minutes because Celtic were having a parade around their own stadium, and you have Rangers supporters in one of the biggest derbies, in my opinion, the biggest explosive derby you can probably have, and they've hemmed in Rangers supporters in a corner, forcing them to watch a parade, then allowing Celtic players to come over to them and goad them. It's a disgrace, and I don't know why. No, as Ox says, yes, they are what they are. We know this, but the people in charge of the game have to be sorting it out.
Yeah. I mean, is that what we're going to get now? Every time there's a league game, everybody has a lap of honour every time they get 3 points. Anyway, if people want to join us, we're going to be talking about that. We've obviously got the Gareth McAuley signing that we want to have a look at. And there's some other things cropped up today concerning the fan zone we might, if we get time, have a look at as well. If no, we'll carry that forward because we've got about 9 days before we get back onto the football. All right, Bridge, what's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Where else can you join us, Big Ulster?
You can join us at rangersradio.online, and there's a Skype option there, or else you can just download Skype and add rangersradio.online as a friend, and Foxy will add you add your request and get you into the call.
All right. Yeah, that'd be good if people could come in, just their thoughts. What's the Facebook world been saying about the game on Sunday, Ulster? Because obviously we were disappointed, but the whole scheme of things, people have been pretty realistic about it, I think.
Yeah, it's just like everybody else. Heat of the moment, people were coming on bitterly disappointed in how we performed at the time.
Let me cut across you, big man. Let me cut across you. Caller. And we've also been joined by Rudy. Rudy, I'll come to you after the caller, mate. All right, mate?
All right, matey. Hello.
Hello, how we doing, mate?
Aye, I'm just going to phone up about what Bridge was saying about the anti-Rangers feeling that's going about. But this has been going about for a long time. And it got worse after the referendum, because it wasn't just Celtic fans against us then. It was everybody that hated the Union Jack decided they're getting on that bandwagon too. And we've suffered for that since.
That's a fair comment, mate. I mean, the politics have been aligned.
But politics shouldn't be involved in football, but it is, whether we want to play or not. And nobody's doing anything about it.
Can I just
sit back?
Can I just ask you, what's your name, mate?
Billy.
Billy. Listen, Billy, we on here have moaned about this, just what you're saying, and we've lambasted the whole of the SPFL and SFA before for the total anti-Rangers feeling that's coming for every team. We mentioned that again last night, that it doesn't matter what it is, they always seem to be able to raise their game against the Rangers. So that's not just happened this week. It's happened many times in the past, but it's even worse now. And all their fans all hate us with a vengeance as well now. Whereas before, it wasn't so bad. But it's terrible at the moment. Absolutely shocking.
If we've no notice, from the bottom division all the way up, every game against us is a cup final for everybody. We've known that. It always has
not been the case? Billy, has that not been the case for 146 years?
Aye. That doesn't change. But the added venom has been going on. That's been fueled by the media. And what gets me is the people that are swallowing this stuff for the media, don't be misled. I'm talking to Celtic supporters as well. Because as soon as things start happening for them same people that have been doing it to Rangers will be doing it to them. They just want to cause trouble. And it's football that they're affecting. And they're the ones with the political agenda as far as I'm concerned. I've got a point to make on what Bridge said about Scotland. I was outside the Pandora in Govan Hill at a Scotland-Northern Ireland game. And our boys come up with the scarves with the Scotland and the Northern Ireland together. And as he's coming up towards the door, 4 big shooters for Aberdeen shouting at him, "Get that stuff away from the door. We don't want any of that Ibrox piss in here." So I says, well, what do you use? I said, "That's my local." I says, "Here, mate, come here, use that scarf." So I bought one half and went inside the bar. I sat in amongst them all night. Not one said a word, but that was a good few years ago. And that's why a lot of Rangers supporters aren't going to Scotland games anymore, which is ridiculous.
It used to be the vast majority of the people who supported Scotland. Aye.
Celtic fans wouldn't go because it was in the Rangers end a lot of the times.
Aye.
They wouldn't go to Scotland games because at Hampden because they tiffed Stone in the Rangers end. It was only if it was empty and they could get into the rain end, then you'd see a lot of them going. This point about the anti-media stuff. But anybody that knows me will see me on Facebook, they'll see me. Ulster, I've made a point with Ulster the other night about we have to keep 11 men on. I'm doing as William Armour. I use William on Facebook because that seems to get up Celtic supporters' nose worse than Billy. But any time I say my name, I say my name's William. Because my name is Billy. Everybody knows me as Billy. But to them, I'm William. Because they don't like it. And I do it deliberately. And I do it on social media because of it. People automatically
You've come on here acting like a king, William.
Well, I know it gets up my nose, but it's a name. And my point is, on social media, every time, like the Record, they come out with this, supporters angry at such and such said this. That's just for this fictitious hotline that they've got. I don't think Andy is on that. I think that's just junior reporters. They come out with the worst possible statement, Rangers are dead and all this kind of stuff. Responsible journalism wouldn't put that in a paper. That's like the Sunday World stuff.
You know the best idea with that one, mate? You know the best thing to do? Don't click, don't buy, don't read, mate. You'll end up like Bridgman. He's only 32 and look at him. Look what it's done to him, the media in Scotland.
Well, actually, I've got to thank Bridgman because he took my title.
Did he buy you a drink? Did he buy you a drink?
He took my title of Victor Meldrew. I'm thinking he's worse than you.
William, how did you find the show?
Pardon?
How did you find?
I love it. I've been for about the last 2 or 3 years every night. Yeah, I love it. I just like the banter and
once the drugs kick in, you'll be all right and you'll get Euros.
Oh, yeah, that was in my happy days. I gave them up.
Well, do you want to let Billy know about the possibility of the phones not working or something?
No, we don't have to do that at the moment, Ulster.
Right, okay.
Billy, look, I agree with you, and there's a couple of people in this call. I'm going to pass this out to you. I agree with you, and I think we know where some of the hatred is coming from. It's coming from some of the media. It's got a different agenda. It's got a different agenda, and it's sad, mate. But look, they get hammered in the referendum, and the trouble is we've got a lot of apathy. But I've been joined by.
And they've got a lot of support in Ireland. And it's not. I mean, you've just seen recently Celtic's directors with shares in media companies. It's orchestrated against Rangers. We've got to find a way of fighting back on that.
The best thing we can do, mate, one of the best things we can do is support the club, get them sorted on the field, win football matches, get above them in the league, and then you'll see a mood change. We've been joined by 2 of our political correspondents. One's called Rudy Bear, and the other one's called True Blue. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, guys. Evening, Billy. I agree with every word you said, mate.
I thought you might, True. I thought you might.
I can't believe that, True Blue.
I just think we don't like to be whingers.
You really agree with that.
We just don't like to be whingers. I think that's what it is. But it's getting to the stage we don't have to. It's ridiculous how obvious it is, and yet we're not supposed to say anything.
Rudy Bear. First of all, Rudy, evening, mate, and what's on your mind before you take William's statement, should I say?
Just the worst thing for me on Sunday there was the golden of the Rangers fans, you know. I mean, them doing a lap of honour tells you everything that you need to know about how they thought about that game, you know, previous to the sort of few days previous to it. They were on the phone-ins greeting about all sorts of stuff. They got a 1-0 win and they did a lap of honour. All right. So classless is as classless does, in my opinion. But then the Police Scotland, in their infinite wisdom, allow the Celtic players to go up and goad Rangers players. You know, you've got a low IQ Ned there for a captain, and you've got a wee manky racist who's been done for racism, and they're standing in front of the Rangers support, goading the Rangers support, and nobody in the media seems to have a problem with that, as they've not had any problem with them doing it in the past either. It's shameful. It's utterly shameful. The first thing that they should have been told: get away from there. Move on. Just move on. Don't bother goading the Rangers fans. Because if anything had a kicked off there, Ox, it would have been the Rangers fans' fault. It would have been not their fault. It would have been all the media. It would have been the Rangers fans' fault. And that, in my opinion, what the cowards done, that's a cowardly action. Standing there goading Rangers fans like that. They're cowards. You know. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. What Williams just said there, and I couldn't agree with him. I couldn't agree with him more, Ox. I couldn't. The national team. Let me just touch on that first of all. I couldn't care less about the national team. As far as I'm concerned, if I don't ever see another Rangers player playing for the national team again, I'll be quite happy. I couldn't care less about them. Honestly, really couldn't care less. That might be a sad state of affairs because I know there is some Bears who do care. There's a Facebook page, you know, there's a bunch of Rangers supporters trying to claim the country back, and they want to go and start supporting the country again and stuff like that, the team again. I couldn't care less. I've only got one love. That's it. Simple as that for me. And as for Bully, what Bully's just said there, or William.
Remember, Mrs. Rudy listens, so you might want to make that.
I'm Bully Hughes.
I couldn't agree with Bully more. I couldn't. We didn't make this political. We didn't turn football into politics. They did, and they did. They've been doing it for a long time. We didn't do that. They done it. You know what I mean? And I don't think they've ever forgiven us for the referendum. And I think I heard True Blue saying one night, not that long ago, you know, who's the biggest bastion of unionism in this country? Our club and us. And that's why they hate us so much. Because we're a bulwark against what they want. And they know for a fact that we will never allow them to have it. That's why they hate us.
I think for me, Rudy, I can maybe clear that up for you where I'm coming from. I agree with what you're saying as well. We are the icon of unionism in Scotland. The problem I've got with it is, mate, is they're taking everything away from us. They've hijacked the Scottish flag now. They've hijacked the Scotland team as far as I'm concerned. They're ours, they're mine by birthright. And that is the biggest danger we've got, is walking away and going in, just walking in quietly, walking away quietly for things and then criticising them. We've got to get more active, we've got to get people politically involved, we've got to fight off this demon of political correctness. Every time you open your mouth, you're a racist, bigot or whatever it is. The other thing is, I have no problem whatsoever with them doing their lap of honour yesterday, Sunday, sorry. I just laugh at them. I laugh at them. The problem I've got, and quite rightly, is when they're going up to Rangers supporters and goading them. That is not on any level. When it's quite deliberate, as Bridgeman said earlier, Andy Halliday at Morton. You know, it's all relevant, guys, and it will keep up, and it's getting stronger and stronger all the time. It's not just anti-Rangers feeling, it's our whole culture that's under attack. And it's a culture that made this country. It produced the greatest inventors, medical men, science, engineers, you name it. This country's got a hell of a lot to be proud of, and it's all down to the Reformation.
Yeah, so, well said, True.
Anyway, politics is a subject that we could debate on, eh? And I think, Billy, your sentiments are great, and I think you're maybe also right. But what about on a football front, Billy? What's striking you? How do you see the Gerrard revolution going? Are you happy the way things have gone?
I'm chuffed to bits, and I wasn't really doing it on Sunday. The sad part is, over the last 6 years, you're getting quite used to, as a Rangers supporter, to getting letdowns and knocks. So they don't hit you as hard as they used to. It's like the punch, you know, we can ride the punches now. But I think it was just one game too much for us. There was a lot of energy levels dropped in that game, and I noticed in the second half especially. Well, we just needed that wee bit more sharpness, and I think it was just one game too many, too quickly for us. So I'm not disappointed, really.
I was chatting to somebody earlier on the night, and I was saying that we actually laughed in the aftermatch, so I don't think that's ever happened when we lost a game to them. But I think we could all see the big picture, mate, and we're happy where we are now. In 2 weeks' time, we played in D. It's imperative we get a win and we go on a run of games, and a real run of games are league wins.
Well, that's what we're going to have today, but look at it from the other side. Their reaction tells you just how scared they were. And it's just a pity that we didn't have that extra energy, because we could have put them in their place on Sunday if we had that extra bit of go in us. We could have done that. Even come the second half, where we 75% possession in the last 20 minutes. So, well, it could have been an but we didn't. So we'll move on to the next one, and it'll be even better come December when there's only a few of them stuck in that wee corner.
And who's impressed you, mate? Who's impressed you with players?
Oh, the two centre-backs, Katic and Goldson, have been immense. Tavernier still prone to his mistakes. He's all right, but he's still prone to the defensive lapses. But he tries. I do think eventually we're going to have to get a proper right back. And I think the left back, he's grown into the game. I'm looking forward to seeing the new players as well, because I think the right winger that we've got is a bit tasty. So it's looking good. We've got players coming back. So I'm looking forward to this season. First time for a long time.
Aye, I get that, mate. And look, well, I didn't think anybody, and I'll take it to Bridge next, I didn't think anybody, William, thought we'd qualify for the Europa League group stages.
Oh, no, I know.
Bridgeman.
I'd just like to agree with everything Billy said there to a certain extent, except the amount of players that have come in, and some of them are not quite there. I heard a wee story today that this is a rumour, of course, that people are a bit concerned about Katic not heading the ball as much as Golson. So I don't know how true or untrue that is, and that's why they bought McAuley. It's just a rumour, As far as the European games are concerned, I'm still high as a kite, as you guys know. Stuff's come in. If they're ready to take the money off me, if I've not taken it already, for the three games, I'm there. And it's going to bring back a lot of memories. There's going to be a lot of Rangers fans going to sit there and watch this, group stages of a European tournament. My God, who would have thought it? Just who would have thought it, guys? I agree. Billy was saying he thought something about maybe we have to replace Tavernier or get a right back. Not necessarily to replace him, but replace somebody in that position. They've got John Flanagan. He's not been a bad right back in his days. Whether he's a guy that the manager would trust, or whether he's one of these guys that's going to be a sort of fallback, I don't know. And yeah, but I agree. We do need a defensive. We do need somebody in defence there. Tavernier's not a defending right back for sure. Because
what he does, if he's not defending, he's dragging them. He's taking away from the attacking options we've got as well. Because the right back's having to keep coming back to cover him.
Well, I think he draws Goldson away from his role as the sort of double centre half, and that leaves certain gaps. And you noticed, or I noticed anyway, the left side from a defensive perspective were quite good in Sunday, but the right side I thought were quite poor in some instances. It's maybe because they're a man down, just as you said there. If Tavernier's no back, then you could struggle a wee bit,
I think Tavernier, to be fair, look, Tavernier's got flaws in his game, but one of the things that on Sunday was, I think him and Candias worked better in tandem. I'll go to Big Ulster with that than potentially Tavernier and Kent, who's a young boy learning his way.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate. I think, we've seen Candias and Tavernier playing Parkhead before. And we've seen them play very, very well when we got that 0-0 draw, because together they created havoc for Tierney, really. You've seen the weaknesses of Tierney when he was being doubled up on attack. We were very, very good that day down that side of the pitch. So I think if you're going to play there with Tavernier, I'd probably like to see Candias with him, because they've got that partnership. I think the only issue is with having Tavernier as his captain. When you're going into the biggest game of the season in the league, you have to have your captain playing. It would be, it's just once you make a guy captain, you can't take him out for the big games. But for me, if you're going to be more defensive minded, I think you have to play the more defensive player. And I probably would have preferred to see Flanagan playing at right back on Sunday's game, just because of his defending abilities. I think he's a better defender. Doesn't offer you just as much going forward, but we weren't going forward that much anyway. So we would probably have been better with Flanagan in that right back. But then, because he's captain, it's very, very hard to not have him in the big games.
Rudy Bear, then Trouble.
You said the other day about Tavernier and Candias. They've developed this partnership with both of them, haven't they? And it works fairly well. I don't think you get the same. If you play somebody else there, like young Kent on that side of the park with Tav, I don't think they've got the same rapport, the way Candias and Tav has. Tav's, I've said it before, I think we've all said it before, Tav's never a proper fullback in a million years, He's a wing back, Tav, at best. I like his assists, He scored a few goals. He's had quite a few assists. But for me, I think going forward, we're really going to have to think about what kind of defence are we going to be looking for? Do we want full-backs that really know how to defend? Because I doubt very much you can have both. I don't think you can have a full-back that can get forward at pace and give you assists and score goals and be good defensively as well. So that's something Billy's probably right about. But probably going forward, maybe Steven Gerrard will look at that. He'll think about that. I think Flanagan's probably, if you play him in the right, he'd be more solid, but you wouldn't get the number of assists and stuff like that Tav gives you. I said the other day, I said yesterday as well, I was a bit surprised that Candace didn't start the game on Sunday, because I would definitely have started him, not just because him and Tav have got that wee connection, and the two of them kind of push each other on, and Candace is great, his energy levels are great, he gets back to help Tav out, but also because I just think on that side of the park, we could have... Candace has got at Tierney before, so he has, I think, I'm not sure it was that mentioned that the other night, but somebody mentioned it anyway, and I agreed with him. Candace has got at Tierney 2 or 3 games last season, so he did. So I would have played him again, because Candace has got the old firm experience. There was a lot of players in that team on Sunday that don't have that yet. They've got it now. They've started to get it now. Hopefully they understand now what it's all about. But I would certainly go with Candace most times rather than no, to be honest, Ox.
True Blue, is that a good point that Rudy makes? I think we had 6 players making their debut in that fixture.
I think there was a few... I think there was a few things didn't work out for me on Sunday. Now, I don't profess to be a tactical genius or anything, but I think going there and sitting back against him is the only thing to do. I think the selection was wrong. I don't think we turned up with a lot of players. If you say yourself, Rudy, playing in that game for the first time.
Yeah.
The other thing for me is I didn't like Steven Gerrard's press conference going on about the foul. Ajaria should have took Rogic out halfway up the park. He's run the full length of the park there, made a pass, there's another pass made and the ball's in the back of the net. Shocking defending. I think we got out of jail. We had the woodwork 4 times, lads, and, McGregor saves. I think we got away with it, but I think it shows that defensively I was certainly stacked up a bit. But I think we got it down on Sunday, maybe understandably, maybe the mitigating circumstances, but I think there's a lot of lessons being learned on Sunday, particularly by the manager and the debutants in that game as well.
Do you think, if you were honest, if you were being honest, Drew, do you think that we deserved anything from the game on Sunday?
Us?
Aye.
On the 90 minutes, mate, I would need to say no. But having said that, we did have a couple of chances, but it was a couple of chances,
William,
that was how I seen it.
Aye.
Well, William, we've signed, since the game on Sunday, we've signed a new player. I'll say strengthen my squad. Obviously, Gareth's at the back end of his career. He's came and joined us. He's a bit of experience in defence, because even Katic and Goldstein are relatively young for that position. So a bit of sense there, just a 1-year deal. We didn't give him a 5-year contract like we would have done in the past. Were you happy with that signing?
Aye. I think Davy Weir done that job for Rangers when he come back. And I know he's stayed for a few seasons, and then we've got to remember Clint as well. What kind of effort he put in? Aye, Clint Eastwood, we could have done with him on Sunday, aye. Yeah, but Big Clint, he gave us a great season. I would have kept him home for another season. He knew what it was to play for Rangers.
Aye. Possibly a mistake, aye.
He knew what it was to play for Rangers. But I think we've been lucky. The luckiest thing that's happened to us last season and this season is Derek McInnes not getting a job.
I couldn't agree more, mate. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Because we've got a man that knows what it means. A man that's no scared either. So
I think I read somewhere today, obviously the Dundee game sold out. People are going back and forth with obviously season ticket holders who can't make it are reselling their tickets. The club get more revenue, and there was 40 seats left for the St Johnstone game, William. If we'd have got Derek McInnes, do you think the response would have been like that?
No. And that's what Scottish football don't appreciate why we're still harbouring us. We put it on the map. We put Scottish football back on the map. People in England are interested. They all want to see how Gerrard's getting on. But we're not getting credit for that either.
Well, Billy, our attendance figures are being airbrushed out. There's no discussion about Rangers' attendances. They'll tell you about Hearts' marvellous attendance and Hibs' marvellous attendance, and even St Johnstone getting 5,000 is a tremendous attendance. They don't want to talk about it. But they don't want to talk about it. I'm trying to say that. They actually don't want to talk about us at all. Yeah?
The reason they're doing that is because they've got to do something to combat the good feel that's going about Rangers because
I couldn't disagree with that.
So, going back to the original point, William, you're delighted with the signing of Gareth McAuley?
Oh, aye. I think he knows all about the club. He's had it in his blood, so... And that always doesn't count, but he's played at top level, so it's a win-win for us.
Mm-hmm. Big Ulster, I don't know if his pedigree or his upbringing is good enough to make it into our club. What's your thinking, mate?
Yes! I am delighted. I am, I swear. I'm delighted for him as well because you can see how much how important it was, and obviously the post his mother put up today, a wee picture of him where he was only a baby with the Rangers stuff all around him. So his whole family's delighted, and all of us over here are delighted for him because he's just a perfect professional. Really, really is. Everyone, you ask anyone in the Northern Ireland support, they'll always, when you say about Big G, as we call him, Gareth McAuley, everybody loves him because he's just the ultimate professional. Never has he let us down. Played 79 games for the country. Scored a massively important goal, one of the most important goals ever for us at the Euros. I was at that game, was lucky enough to be there. And as I say, he's played for West Brom in the English Premier League, over 200 appearances in the Premier League. He's played under 11 different managers at West Brom, and he's averaging about 32 league games a season under all those managers. And you think of the millions you could spend, they could go out and buy anybody. Like the West Brom, when it comes to the money they have to spend there. He's been there that long and always been in the team. So I think it's experience for us. I don't know how many games he'll play, but I'll guarantee you when he gets on the field, he'll not let us down. And as I say, he'll be there as a shoulder for the likes of Carriage and Golds and help them through their game. And maybe he'll have a job after next season as a coach. That could happen for him, and I hope it does. And congratulations to Gareth McAuley.
I say congratulations to you as well, Ulster, because you've been a mate. You're the man that's been driving that on for him. Go and get him. Well done, pal. Well done.
True Blue. There's sense in it, isn't there? I mean, we know he's at twilight his career, but it's a 1-year deal. We've no hamstrung myself with a silly contract. It's a win-win. He can help in the training side. He might not necessarily play. If he does, he's got the experience, hopefully get him through. And he can also pass on good habits to our two young centre-halves and help improve them.
Aye, definitely, mate. I think it was last week we need a centre-back. A big fella, what is he, 38, Walter?
39.
39. Well, having said that, it's a different game now, Aye, well, if he brings that experience in, he's obviously got a feel for the club. He knows what the club's all about. Supporters a boy, that's, what can you say against that? Not a lot. Delighted the big man's in. Wish him all the best in his Rangers career, obviously. Who knows? We've seen the age Davy Weir played to. He was in his 60s, wasn't he?
Just about.
38. It'll be 39 on 5th of December this year.
Right, you've obviously got a card written out already.
Ulster, is it for a year? Is it a 1 year's contract?
1 year's
end
contract.
End of the season.
End of the season, right? Okay.
All right. Rudy, they've been sensible here, eh?
Aye, definitely. Big Ulster was saying there he's played, over 200 games in the English Premiership. You know, he's very, very highly thought of, as you can hear by Ulster. You know, but the Northern Ireland fans just love the big fella. He's a blue nose. You know, he comes in. You've got Goldson, Katic, and you've got the youngster up for Nottingham Forest. His experience has got to rub off on them. You know, he'll be there running about them at training. You know, talking to them. You know, if he gets on the park, he'll talk them through games. I think it's a good signing. He's a class defender. You know, and all right, he might be getting he's maybe coming to the end of his career. But if we get a good season out of him, you know, there's no telling what could happen next season, you know. I think it's a really good signing, folks.
I'd just like to thank Coop in the lobby. Thanks very much, Coop. I always knew you were a nice guy. Listen, lads, if you don't mind going on mute, let's hear for our latest signing, Gareth McAuley.
Gareth, a warm welcome to Rangers. How much does it mean to you to be a Rangers player?
You know, massive personally. Family support, the club itself as well. I mean, the street I was born on, the curbs are painted red, white and blue, so to get the opportunity to come and play at this famous club is, it's amazing. Delighted to be here and feel very honoured and privileged to be here as well.
What do you hope to bring to the football club?
Experience. There's a young group of players here. Help them with my knowledge, help develop them, also challenge them to play in the team. It's a project here at the minute, and you know, speaking to the manager and stuff in the last week or so, and that's something that I can bring to the project. You know, helping develop the players that are here, and also challenge them to play in the team.
You mentioned you're a Rangers fan. Does that mean it's always been an ambition of yours to come and play here?
Very much so. I didn't think it would be in the latter stages of my career, but you know, timing was good, and everything, you know, sort of worked out. And it's really a bit whirlwind in the last week, to be honest with you. But I have been linked with here down the years. Things never come off for whatever reason. I don't know. I think it might be an easy link for pressmen. Coming from Northern Ireland and stuff and that, and Rangers and the connection there. But looking forward to getting involved.
But you say you're here, you're looking to play. How much then are you looking forward to challenging the likes of Connor Goldson, Nikola Katic and Joe Worrell?
Yeah, especially the first two lads. I've been watching the games and that there, and you know, they're good players, and they've been doing really well. I know the manager's really pleased with them as well. And to say, it's to me to challenge them to try and get in the team, but I say also to help them develop as well, because you know, they're the future of the club, and they're the mainstay and moving forward as well. And they're young boys, and you know, anything I can help them with, I'll certainly do that.
How impressed have you been by what you've seen of Rangers so far this season?
Yeah, you know, I've enjoyed it. There's a massive buzz about it. Everyone's talking about it, and you know, there's a real feel good about it. So it's you know, positive. Everything's moving in the right direction, and I want to come in and play a part in that, and you know, help to move the club forward.
And you've obviously achieved so much in your career, but the potential to play in Europe for the first time must be really exciting. Yeah,
definitely. I've played a lot of games. I've been here on European night a few years ago now, but you know, the atmosphere's fantastic. The atmosphere's electric, and that'll be something that I'll really look forward to.
You mentioned the manager in one of your earlier answers. Even at this stage in your career, how much you're looking forward to learning from him?
Yeah, you know, football's all about learning. I feel if you stop learning in football, you're finished. It's all about new challenges, new experiences. You know, you can have been there, you can have done it, but you can still learn, and you know, that's important. I'm sure all the lads are learning off the manager at the minute. His staff, Gareth McAuley and Michael Beale is the coaching staff as well. You know, you're learning every day, and you're progressing every day, and you're trying to better yourself. And I think if you know, as you're doing that, I mean, I talk about experience, and I've got experience as well, but I'm still learning the game, still learning new things as well, and that. So, yeah, it's a bit of a progression. He talked very, positively when I was speaking to him last week, and really looking forward to working with him.
Do you feel, given the mood among the fans and qualifying for Europe, which was such a massive boost, that you're joining something special here at Rangers at the moment?
I hope so. It's certainly one of the reasons why I wanted to come. I feel there's a chance to win things here. There's a chance to be a part, as you say, be a part of something special. Really, I played a lot of games in the Premier League, but this club to me is as big as, if not even bigger than a lot of the clubs in England, and you say obviously the support, and it's there every week. It's a massive club, and for me to be a part, to be given the chance to be here, I feel really privileged.
And before you begin your Rangers career, you've got 2 potential huge games coming up for Northern Ireland this weekend. Has it been difficult at all to keep yourself ticking over the summer before obviously signing for Rangers and now going into these 2 massive games?
It's been strange. Obviously, you can do the running, you can do the stuff, you can keep your fitness up, but that day-to-day training and stuff in that there, you're obviously not involved in it. I've got a bit to catch up on that. General fitness wise, I feel good, but sharpness and stuff in that there, I'm going to have to work hard on that over the next couple of weeks to get up to scratch on that. But yeah, I mean, it's two games, so hopefully I can get some minutes under my belt as well in them games, depending on what the manager feels.
William, he sounds happy to be there. He's realistic and honest and forthright in his views about our club.
He actually realises the size here, which most people outside Scotland acknowledge. It's just not acknowledged in Scotland how big this club is. It sounds like one proud man.
Here, mate. Here. Big Ulster, he's happy. He's pleased to be there. He knows all about the club. He's also a few months older than the manager.
I know it's probably but it's the experience that he'll bring. As I say, he's played in some massive games, obviously for Northern Ireland, getting to Euros, World Cup qualifiers. But he's also played in the Premier League, which is renowned for being the best in the world. And as I say, he's averaging 32, 36, 32. So he's always in the high 30s. Right for his career while West Brom have been in the Premier League. Alan Pardry was the last manager that he worked under for West Brom in the Premier League, and he only got 9 games. That was the first time he went down from 36 to 9, and that was the first season West Brom went on to get relegated. So what does that tell you? Should have kept Big G in there, Pardry, he maybe would have been on the job still.
Big man nails his colours to the mast there, Rudy.
Yeah, it was a smashing interview. Really pleased for him. He's been, as Big Ulster said earlier, he's been, ultimate professional, really, hasn't he? He's had a distinguished career, the boy. And he's here now. He's here for to the end of the season. I'm sure he'll get some game time. I would imagine Goldson and Katic will remain the centre-back pairing that will be preferred. But I think he's a good option. It's a long, hard season in Scotland, between suspensions and injury and whatnot. So I'm sure he'll get a bit of game time. And like Big Ulster says, I don't think he'll let us down. Really enjoyed his interview. You could hear it coming through in his voice. I saw his family stuff, like Ulster was talking about the baby photo, and he's covered in Rangers stuff, scarves and tops and God knows what, when he was a baby. So it tells you everything you need to know about his family and his roots and where he's coming from, and his pavement, the street he was born in, his pavement was painted red, white and blue. Says it all really for me.
And some of the baby photos, they give a lot away, mate, because obviously Mrs. Rudy sent some of yours in, mate. They're black and white, mate. They're black and white.
Right.
Black and white.
True blue. If Mark Warburton was there, he'd get a 3-year deal. We're being a wee bit smarter now. We brought him in. We're saying, look.
Aye, definitely. I think he's maybe there, and I think they've maybe got one eye in a coaching role for him. 38, if he's going to go in there, we've got two kind of young established centre backs at the minute. We've got Joe Warland and all. So I'm wondering where he'll fit in, if it's, he's going to get the occasional game and going to the coaching at the club. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to find out. But listen, I always love it. I love it when a Bear gets that chance to live the dream. I really do. Yeah. And you always wish them, you wish them so much happiness at it, absolutely brilliant. So there you go. So I wish him all the best in his future at Rangers.
You're getting it tight in the lobby, Rudy.
Yeah?
You're getting it tight in the lobby.
All right, okay. Will you watch what I say, won't I?
I think in games you'll probably see, the likes of McAuley, probably, like the likes of this game we'll have away in Villarreal, the defence are going to have to play. It's going to be another game where we'll probably be defending a lot. And the two centre backs, Cadiz and Goldson, are going to have to do a lot of work. And then obviously the likes of the young fella we've got up from Nottingham Forest, and then you've got likes of McAuley there, who can maybe take the burden of playing the games on the Sunday, like say St Johnson at Ibrox. But I think that's the sort of games you'll maybe see Gareth playing, and then obviously the younger ones playing, as I say, when they're in European games. I think that's why George probably has done this as well, just share the burden a wee bit, because it's going to be a lot of games thick and fast.
Come in here, Rox.
I only go, but Chum's coming to you next anyway, mate.
Cheers.
You see the sticking poor Rudy was getting? Right, are you going away, William?
Aye, mate. I'll phone in again. I've been trying to phone in for ages.
Listen, thanks very much for the call, mate. Thanks very much for the call. All right, cheers, mate.
Right, enjoy your night, boys.
Cheers, thanks, William.
Hey, mate.
I was just wondering, guys, I don't know what you think, but I'm getting a feeling that my 3-5-2 is possibly going to come.
I thought you were going to say Big McAuley wasn't tall enough for you.
No. He would be a good anchor in a 3-5-2, and that's for sure. We're getting to the point where we've got enough good players, in my opinion, and the manager will feel that. And this is the players are going to do is up until Christmas at least, yeah, or rather into January, and then the window opens and we can maybe supplement them again. But that we need to play with what we've got. So the manager's got to come up with the good suggestions, good structures of the team, and obviously they've got a basis. You've got 4 centre halves to pick from, and I reckon there's a good chance that some of these games leading up, and maybe not necessarily this week, the next weekend, but against Dundee, for me, I would providing they're all fit, I would think it'd be going 3-5-2 at Ibrox, and let's see if it'll work. And if it doesn't work, change it quickly. Keep the same personnel, but just change it back to 4-4-2 or something like that. I'm quite sure he could do that. But I would, if he's fit, I would include McAuley in it. That's for sure.
I'd be interested to see how it pans out. I don't know much game time he's went. I've got maybe a different thought of you, Big Ulster. I think he might play in Villarreal, because I could see us playing a 5-4-1, mate.
That's what I think. That's what I would do. Yeah,
I hope he does. I hope he does get playing. Because I know he does have it in him, and I know people's looking at the age factor, and that's fair enough. But I really do believe he can do a job for us. And I know the Scottish Birds maybe don't know him just as much, but maybe I'm coming from a biased perspective. But having watching, he is loved because of the performances he puts in, and he's dangerous as well. He scores goals, and he's brilliant in the air and in the defence. But you could be right. I have no qualms if Gareth McAuley plays a lot of games this season. As I say, he'll not let us down. But if he is there to come in the odd game when players are maybe getting a wee bit fatigued, that's fair enough too. We just got to wait and see, because as I say, he didn't play many games last season for West Brom, but any games he did play for Northern Ireland, it was the same old Gareth McAuley who'd done a really good professional performance.
I mean, all I know from a personal point of view, at Bridge, we've reached that time, all I know from a personal point of view is any G McAuley that I know loved the Rangers. Anyway, lads, if you don't mind going and mute, we'll have a tune for Fox.
I sailed the wild Atlantic, across washed abroad Pacific shore. I sailed around the stormy capes and I've heard the 40s roar. I've climbed the Indian Ocean and I've sailed the China Sea. But there's a sea back home in Scotland, more than all the rest to me. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of my rocks. It's the greatest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of my rocks. And it's not gonna really just way up. Seven seas, no more I'll ever roam. No more I'll feel the earth again. I'm back where I belong. At 3 o'clock each Saturday I'll join the mighty throng. With flags and banners all around, I'll proudly sing this song. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of my rocks. The greatest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of my rocks. And it's not gonna really get better green. It's the blue, blue, blue sea of my rocks. It's the greatest sight that I have ever seen. The blue, blue, blue sea of my rocks. And it's not gonna really get better green. And it's not gonna really get better green.
Not quite the same without Hugh Burns singing along, is it, Bridge? Bridge, you were coming in there with something before we went to the tune, mate.
I was back to the, shall we say, the defence again. I think that there's got a lot of games coming up, a massive amount of games coming up just in the next few weeks after this break, and they're going to come fast and furious. And I really do hope that the manager gives everybody a chance, including the young lad up from Nottingham Forest, because we have to get him. Obviously, the manager's got to be 100% comfortable with these guys and able to play. And we're going to be playing against some top teams, and that's for sure. They might not be the best teams in the whole world, but my goodness, they're top teams for us. And if we're going to do anything against them, we're going to need bodies. And this is what it's about. And I hope this boy, Gareth McAuley, will do this 9-month stint that he's up for. Let's hope it works for him, and I hope it works for us. I really do.
True blue, we need a bit of luck, mate, with injuries and that. We need a bit of luck. It's a big part of the game.
Listen, I think we're underestimating an ox there that, the short time this team's been together. You're basically trying to mould a full new team, as well, I know I sounded a bit negative earlier about the Sunday game, but things are coming together, things will happen. We've got Eros Gresta to come back, and get him fit, get him into the team, see what he's like. I love Borisic. I think we're getting a lot of positions over the park really right. I think the future's good for us, being honest. I think the Rangers team we see, the newer the level of performance. I said last week, you can put 4, 5, 6 players out them and argue for a man of the match, and you'll not get a lot of argument about it. I think we're getting there, mate. I really do. I don't know if that answers your question or no, but that's the way I feel about it. I think the team will grow, the team will develop, and I think we're getting cover in every one of the areas we've got.
That's a fair comment, mate. I struggle to argue with it. I think I said earlier on that people were obviously disappointed we lost again, but we weren't suicidal, if that makes sense. We see the bigger picture, mate.
Aye, definitely, pal. Well, put it this way, I'm a lot more confident than I was in the last few years. With what's been going on with managers in and out the door, a revolving door with managers. We'll need to give this guy time. I think Steven Gerrard, I know he played that big club and he's played at the highest level. Rangers are a club apart, mate, and I don't care how successful that mob are across there. Rangers are still the big scalp in Scotland for every team we come up against. The sooner the players learn that, and the manager will certainly learn that, the better. I reckon Rangers, every team that plays us gives a 10% extra over the part, mate. I heard
a story, True Blue, it might entertain you. Two people that somebody knows on Facebook, and they were in Berlin, and they decided they would go to an Irish bar in Berlin to watch the game on Sunday. And they favour a team who played in the East End of Glasgow, who used to train at Barrafield.
Right.
And they walked into this pub in Berlin, and there was hundreds of blue noses.
Good.
In Berlin.
I know that. Well, we're all over the world. We know that. This show proves that we get callers from all over the world. The other thing was, King Billy on the call earlier, he was making a point about, attendances and all the rest of it. And Bridgeman made a point on all the airbrushing our attendances. We've boosted the attendance of these whole leagues. Many of them are shutting their stands down now. And it's not just about Steve and Gerrard, it's about the Rangers. Because they were opening their stands up again the minute we were back in the league. That's the power we've got and we should use it. But as I said earlier, this team's going to get better and better, Ox. The way I see it. The more experience a manager and his coaching team get as well, and realise that there are additional problems they'll face up here they'll not face anywhere else.
I think he learned a lot for Sunday's game, but I'm sure we'll debate that as the week goes on. But something was a hot potato in the last 24 hours. I'm going to need you something to go today concerning the tickets. Dear season ticket holder, as a direct result of the feedback we received for the email communication regarding the 3-match package, your payment date has now been extended to Monday the 17th of September. Bridgeman, obviously there was a clamour yesterday. They put out the packages for the games, and I'll get that up in front of me in a minute. But one of the complaints that I picked up for reading in the forums and the social media stuff that I read was that people were saying, "Wait a minute, you've not given us a lot of notice to make sure the money's in the bank."
Yeah.
And I think there was a lack of joined up thinking there, and obviously they've rectified it a bit now. I'm sure we'll debate the price, but obviously the club common sense has prevailed, and they've looked at it. Maybe they've dived in too quick, and a learning curve for everybody. I hope we've learned the lesson. Bridge.
I honestly think it's just inexperience, because we didn't know, right? Until last week, we were still not sure if we're getting through or not. So all of a sudden, within a few short days, maybe a week, the tickets are when the dates get pronounced, and here we go. There's the tickets, and this is what we're going to do. We didn't even have a charge list to people. I mean, how much is going to cost us? Now we do, and yes, the expectation once it comes out, and you only go for a three game package. Then that's going to cost a lot of money, these 3 games. So it's over £100 for full price, and it's £72 for the old age pensioners like myself, and I think it's £40 for kids. But the thing is, the expectation is that Rangers are going to get paid this £100 by the fans, and it's just going to come out of some sort of big lump of money that they've got. It's not going to happen like that. They need time to arrange their finances to be able to pay Rangers, and Rangers needs to get that into their head. So I think it's a bit of inexperience by Rangers not having been in the European area and getting a hold of these things, 3-game packages. Who'd ever heard of that? They need to be way back 7 years ago before you could hear of that. But I'm glad they've got it sorted out in their mind what they're going to do. I honestly think it needs to be extended quite a bit. And sooner or later, Rangers.
The first game's on the 20th, mate.
But they're only talking about the payment now. They're only talking about the payment. So they can come to an arrangement with the fan about the payment, how the payment's going to be. They can extend it as long as they want for that matter. But obviously, they don't want to go into debt or anything like that. But somewhere along the line, we need to come to an arrangement with them and get it done right. And they'll get there. I'm quite sure they will. They will.
I think I read somewhere, Bridge. I think that was the payment no meant to come out, as far as the continuous credit card scheme goes, was the payment no meant to come out on the 6th I think, which is Thursday.
Yeah.
They've pushed it back now to the 13th, I think. Haven't they, to give people a bit more time, I think.
17th, mate. 17th.
17th is sorry,
Yeah.
17th.
Now, I don't know if that's to do with the actual credit, the CCS are coming out your account.
Yeah, that's what I've done.
Sure.
Do you
Think it is.
no, listen to me. I just
No,
read a statement.
I know, but some folk don't have an account, so they've got to pay the £105, and they're asking when they've got to pay. They've said you have to pay it by then, so you need to get up the ticket off and pay it or send it in. You follow what I mean? So somewhere
That's
along
if
the
you're
line,
known
like
as
me,
CCS.
that's correct.
You're known as
That's
CCS.
Right. That's it, right.
Anyway, talking about people who are not short of a bob or two, we've been joined by Travel Rug. Evening, Travel Rug.
Oh, hey, Travel.
Hi, Travel.
Good evening.
Hi, Trouble.
How you doing?
How we doing, mate? What's on your mind, mate?
No, just listening in. Good show again tonight, boys. Quick question for Ulster Bear. He appears to be the big G expert, so quick question for you, William. Can he play right back?
I would like to see Big McAuley run up that wing like Tavernier does. No chance. Have him in the middle.
I'm pretty sure he could cover that right back position comfortably.
Can I just get some news to Travel Rug? Are you interested in some news, pal? Travel.
Go on.
The European squad, the squad for the Europa League has been put out by Rangers, and unfortunately for you, Lee Wallace is not in the squad. You know, for the 3 games.
You're not going to put. You've got.
Bridgeman, you've just started firing the arrows off a early night, mate.
You've got Boran.
No, I'm just letting you know that Lee Wallace is not in the squad.
You've got Boran. You've got Andy Halliday, surprisingly. You've got John Flanagan. You could move Tavio to left back. You could play Big Katic at left back if you had to. So you're not going to put your 6th choice left back in your European squad, are you?
Oh, wow, that's like a knife, that was, wasn't it? That was like a knife. No.
Don't bite, Travel. Don't bite.
I was
the boy Middleton played at left back as well, so 7th choice.
You can just you can imagine the two practicing before the show starts. Right, you say this, then I'll say that. We'll get on.
Rudy, as you well know,
I've put it into the lobby what the European squad is. I've put it in tonight, and they've actually said it on the site that unfortunately Lee Wallace won't be in the squad. Now, whether that means he's injured, and that probably is. He probably is injured.
Rudy, as you well know, with the boys at fullback, that's where you put the guys that can't play at all to hide them out the way.
Aye, that'll be right. That'll be right.
Oh dear.
All joking aside, I'm delighted that that there's talk of James Tavernier getting a new contract, because that tells me they're going to get a shot at him in the January. So they've sort
You're
of.
not a fan, Travel, are you?
Well,
you're not a fan, are you, mate?
I know there was a lot of things for the goal, whether a foul, a Jaria maybe hitting the guy as he's making the breakaway, pulling him down. But the worst thing about it for me was watching Ajaria and Tavernier just stopping and letting the guy have a free rein into the box. And people keep reminding me that he's an athlete, he can bomb up and down that wing. Well, he didn't bomb back. That was disappointing. The boy gets a free run into the box. Tavernier just kind of slowed down and stopped the same way that Ajaria did. I'm still suffering for the Motherwell game where he was culpable in 2 of the goals. He's running out of chances. I'm afraid he's on my stance on him. I'd be looking for another right back now.
In a way, I would agree with you, Travel. He's no a full-back. He's never a full-back, Tav. Never in a million years.
But Rudy, for me, the first thing a full-back should be able to do is defend. If he can attack forward and put in good crosses, well, you know what? That's a bit of a bonus for me. He needs to be a good defender first, and that's I like the look of the big Barisic, because I think he he looks a decent defender. The wee flasher boy, Forrest, he's gave us lots of problems in the past when we've played them, and he was pretty quiet at that game at the weekend. Apart from setting up the goal, but there was a different circumstances. I actually think he was lucky with that, with the pass. I think he tried to play it to the other player, Edward, I think, but because the guy that scored the goal had a free run in because two players didn't track back with him. Well, fair enough. But I'm happy with the left back. I think he can defend. I think we just need to get a decent defender in at the right back position. Sort that out first. I mean, again, I can go back to going forward. Tavernier had a great chance in a few minutes to go, and he screwed that badly wide. And that's supposed to be strong.
He fluffed his lines, mate.
I think if he'd have cut that back, there was two players waiting for a tap in there.
He done nothing, mate. He never shot or cut it back. He ended up doing nothing.
Like he was caught in two minds and he couldn't make his mind up what to do, you know.
I did hear, and I don't know if this is true because I wasn't at the game, I watched it on the telly or everybody else, but I did hear they turned on the disco lights and it just blinded them at the time and it put them off.
See, the big fella Goldson had his interview, and he made a couple of digs about players that maybe didn't have the attitude for beating them. I can't remember the exact words, but he wasn't completely clear in saying it was players that used to be at the club. I think there was. I'll need to check it again, but I don't know if there was a wee slight dig at some of the players that are still there, that maybe just on the get in there with the right attitude, and they've got that fear. And I think we've all spoke about it. I think we've all got a wee bit of concern about the fear that existed in some of the players playing against them. And
seen that today.
Aye, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, William, but I didn't. And fair enough, maybe there was a wee pointed shot at Josh Windass or whoever. But when I listened to it the first time, I thought, I wonder if he's having a shot at some of the players that are still here.
I was expecting them to be like Barcelona.
That's right. Aye. That was part of that interview. But he mentioned about how there was he felt that there was players there that were terrified of him, and I'm afraid I'm going to put the fullback in that. Not just a fullback, he's your captain. He's still in that category for me. He got roasted off of Tierney, and fair enough. I always think he's a better player when he's got Candace in front of him. I think he needs that support. But on Sunday there was a couple of times Tierney just absolutely terrorised him. And I don't want to see that from a fullback. No, half of a fullback. See if it's a winger, if it's a Neil McCann or it's and somebody that's total ability and skill and has got tricks or two up his sleeve. Fair enough, I can take that. But Tierney's a fullback. And he was toasting Tavernier. He was making Tavernier. It was men against boys. Sometimes when he was going against them. So weak point for me is a right back. Definite weak point. That's for something that we need to work on. And my next one,
he's got big flaws in his game, mate. You struggle to argue with it.
My next one is, and he's still got something to prove for me, is Alfredo. He has done nothing against him.
All right, Bridgman and Alfredo.
Well, you saw on Saturday there, he wasn't quite. I don't think he was quite himself anyway. Never held the ball up properly. A couple of times he did, and he got stuck in. And he took the big fella, the big centre half of theirs that they nearly lost. They took him to the cleaners once, and he was there for the taking. But the saddest thing about it all is that the neither Lafferty nor Morelos went anywhere near Scott Brown to a certain extent anyway. They never pressured them, never approached them too far or too close. So that was kind of disappointing. But I think the two, Morelos and Lafferty, certainly Morelos anyway, where the ball wasn't sticking the way it normally does, the way it can do. He only managed to hold the ball a few times. The truth of the matter is he's 30 yards, 40 yards away from anybody who's going to run up and help him anyway. That's the way I felt. But disappointing insofar as that's concerned. Had a really good chance and smashed the ball in. The goalkeeper made a good save.
Made it himself, mate. That was
absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
He
took that big Boyata on and skinned him. Left him for dead.
Wrong decision, Bridge. He shot there, and he could have just slipped that inside for.
I was shouting for that myself actually to travel in. Yes, it was there, but I have to say, centre forward. You know, the tendency is half-decent centre forwards can be a bit greedy, and when they get a bit greedy, sometimes it pays off for them. Other times it just makes them look pretty bad. But I thought he got a good shot in. Goalkeeper made a fine save, but. You're right. If he'd have squared the ball or cut it back a wee bit, I'm sure one of our players was in a fine position to run on it.
It was the only thing he'd done all game.
To be honest with you, as far as Morelos is concerned, I feel a bit. I don't know if I'm swimming against the tide here. I feel a bit uneasy about giving him this extended contract on a reported salary of 30 grand. I've yet to see what it is about Morelos that makes him a 30 grand a week player. And I said it before. I said it last week when it first, or 2 weeks ago, when it was first rumoured he was getting this new contract, and he was going to he'll be on 30 grand a week. And I'm thinking to myself, what exactly has he done to earn 30 grand a week? You know, he's young, he's a prospect. There's no doubt he's got talent, but is he a 30 grand a week player? Well, in my opinion,
where are you getting this figure from, Rudy? If you don't mind me asking,
it was not our social media, Bridge. It was our social media. We were talking about it the other night as well. Right, if that's true, you know, if that is true that he's getting 30 grand a week, he needs to start playing like a 30 grand a week player, because 30 grand a week for us is a lot of money. So he needs to start playing.
It's a lot of money. I mean, you ain't a lot of money to Bridge, mate.
But do you know what I'm saying though? Right, see, when you went back to January last year, when there was rumours that I sat 9, 10, 11 million. I think me and you actually agreed one night on the show. What has he done to be a 9, 10, 11 million pound player? Up at the media,
mate. I mean, he's no prolific in front of goal. When's the last time he scored a goal?
Gentleman, was it?
When did he score the hat-trick? Just a couple of weeks ago.
Kamara.
Yeah, he scored a hat-trick.
Sorry.
He scored 4. We got one of them never given.
I think there's only one word, and I'll take it to True Blue. The reason is because he's so young and being reasonably effective. You're paying for the potential, mate, so that if he does move on, there'll be bigger money there. That's what it is. Potential. He's raw. He's learning. He's strong. He shows flashes of being a really good player, and then he shows the other side of his game, which is so frustrating, i.e. Thursday night. But it's potential, True Blue.
I think the reason, you know, if it is 30 grand a week, the reason you attract that kind of money is to get you on a longer contract. And it's not down to performance on the part, it's down to the level of bids the club's getting in for him. That's really what it's down to. I think I agree with you entirely, your summation there, Ox. Here. I think there's definitely potential there. I think there's very good potential. But again, he's still developing as a player. He's only a young boy, we forget here, you know. But I tell you, just in talking to it, you know, Dembele, if we'd signed a player that had standard and the club paid that money out from, I would be absolutely raging, by the way. Absolutely raging. And I still say that Morelos will go for more money than they got for him.
All right, I wouldn't mind bringing Fox. Is Fox, are you there, mate?
Hi, I'm in the background. How?
You're quite a big fan of Alfredo.
Indeed.
On you go, mate. Rudy's made a comment. Gives your side of the argument.
I would agree with True. I think any rise in wages will shove up the fee for another club to come in and buy him. That's what True said, and that's what I agree with. By the way, we need to get that travel rug off of having a go at Tav. Yous are all murder.
Do you think he's coming on pretty bird bait?
We have one poor performance, one really poor performance, and yous are all cutting all the Rangers players' throats here. Give it up, guys. Give the manager some time. I think Tav, like Bridge, will probably move to right wing back, mate, and the back three will then get the blame for anything that comes down that wing. And don't forget, out of the last 10 Old Firm games, Tierney hasn't played as well as he did at the weekend, mate. And he was assisted with McGregor, who's also a decent wee player. And that's who he had running at him. And it wasn't an easy job. I think even Flanagan being in there would have been ripped apart much more for me.
Who wants to answer Fox?
Can I come in on it?
No. We're going to go back to Rudy Bear.
Oh, Rudy, okay.
To reply to Fox, and then
ding.
Travel rug.
I totally understand the point True and Fox are making about the salary thing. You know, if it is 30 grand, I mean, we don't know if it actually is or not. That's a rumour. If it is 30 grand, I still say he's got to start playing like a 30 grand a week player. Then, if that's the case, you know, up to this point, he's no showed me he's a 30 grand a week player. You know, I say I might be swimming against the tide a wee bit here. I can see he's young. He's got strength. He's got a bit of talent. But for me, he's not a natural goal scorer. You know, he's got to really work at that for me. So it has. I mean, you've seen that at the weekend again there. But I mean, wasn't it that long ago we were lambasting him for the amount of absolute sitters he was missing, especially against them. That was just last season, you know. So he's got to improve and improve quickly, in my opinion.
All right, fair comment. Travel rug and then Bridge.
A great point there. That was a point I'd made at the beginning about Alfredo, as he needs to start doing it against them. That's where it's the type of games that really make whether it's a success or no. We all remember Super Ali scored so many goals for us, but we all remember his goals against them. That was the thing. Chris Boyd, he was kind of hung out to dry that he didn't score against them. And people always questioned about how successful Chris Boyd was playing for Rangers, because Walter used to drop him when we played against them, you know. So it's the games where it's really important for Alfredo to start turning it on, and that's where I think his success at Rangers will be calculated, I think, on how much he does it. Now, one thing I want to agree with Fox is about moving Tavernier. Fox is saying he wants to move him to wing back. For me, I want to move him to Rotherham, Stoke, Southampton, West Brom. Take your choice. I'm not really caring. And as far as saying hanging him out to dry after one game, I'm sorry. There's 2 games in a row. Just 2 games in a row. The Motherwell game and the game against the Rotters. He's culpable in both of those games. And I don't even need to go back to the games last season where we were always saying, how are we getting caught at the back post all the time? Oh, it's Tavernier. Oh, aye, he's just that wee bit slow and catching up with his man, or letting his guy get a yard on him before you know it, you're a goal down. So I'm sorry, he's definitely running out of chances for me, and I actually wonder if he's going to start running out of chances for the greater support soon.
When you were in love with Lee Wallace, mate, was he a great defender?
We're getting deep.
Where's he travel? Was he a great
I've moved
defender?
on to Lee Wallace. That's it.
No, I'm just asking.
Have you still got any posters?
I've moved on. I'm now a Bournemouth fan. I'm quite happy. I might actually change my avatar and get Bournemouth up there, but maybe you should try it with Tavernier.
Have you still got any Lee Wallace posters in the Gary?
I've got hundreds of them. I didn't want to buy any.
As for Morelos, mate, you don't get any extra points for scoring a goal against Celtic, mate. I don't care if he doesn't score against Celtic but scores in every other game in the league. That'll do for me. Somebody else can score against Celtic. And I don't think that makes or breaks you whether you score against them or no. That's my point of view anyway.
Oh,
wow.
Gordon Jury, Fox. Gordon Jury. Gordon Jury. How many did he get against Celtic?
Oh, remember a couple at Parkhead. Apart from that, I can't remember. I'll check that out for you, True, yeah?
With Gordon Jury, aye, check it out, mate, will you, and come back.
The jury's out.
I think the thing with Tavernier is Fox.
Sorry, Bridge, I know that brings back old memories. Sorry, Bridge. Carry on, True.
These words are painful to listen to.
Tavernier's getting stuck in the middle here, Fox. He's either a right back or a half back. I agree with what Travel's saying about him. And I can see your point and all, you know, but he's better going forward. Going back the way he's cost us too much, for me anyway.
Look, Tavernier cost us something like 250 grand, mate. See, you get a really good fullback that gives you the same going forward. Maybe looking at the boy at Man City, I can't remember, but you're talking about 25 million plus, mate. For the value of service that guy's given us, the goals he scored for us, okay, he's not the best fullback in the world, but he offers so much for towards the team in other ways, mate. And as I say, Gerrard is building a team here. This is only his first couple of months in charge. And if he brings in another fullback that's better than Taverna, fair enough. I'll like him just as much as I like Tav.
I agree with what you're saying, Fox. He is all right going forward. But we need a right back, mate. We need a right back. I think that's the problem Tavernia's got. He's caught between the two positions here. You know, he's either one thing or the other. He can't be both.
Can I come in on that, guy?
Well, maybe that's doing to the manager. He's still passing him to Day Bath, mate.
Aye. Well, I agree with you.
I think, to be honest, my thoughts are that Tavernier is captain. He's taken over from Lee Wallace by the sound of things. Now, I don't think the manager is certainly not in any shape at the present moment. Is he going to abandon James Tavernier? I don't know whether through time, and I mean immediate time, in the next couple of months, whether he sees what we're just talking about, what everybody's starting to see. We've said it a couple of seasons ago that it doesn't look too good going back the way. And it's actually been this last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, seems to be a wee bit of a liability when he's defending, because he switches off. So that makes me ask the question, and everybody else will understand what I'm talking about. Do we think, is there any possibility that Tavernier is not able to step up to the next level? And if that's the case, then the manager and his management team have got to see that and find a spot for him, whether that's push him up into wing back, where maybe a bit stronger, and make room for him up there somehow. If he's going to continue with him as a captain, he's going to have to do that, because he can't be leaving the guy, just as you said there a second ago, he can't be half there, half there. It's just not right. He has to make sure it's right, because as we're going forward, we're all hoping that we start to develop into a really good team. And Tavernier he certainly provides good stuff going forward, but I'm afraid he's not that great going backwards and defending. So it's entirely up to the manager now. He's got the chance and the choice to make it. If he went and got to Borna Barisic's cousin or something like that and put him at right back, I think it would be better. But anybody at right back, from a defensive perspective, with a bit of pace, then we might be able to go forward and play better football and be confident in defence.
I'm thinking defence of Tav, though. I think Steven Gerrard seems to really like him, Bridge. You know.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. He's got him captain. You know, he's not going to abandon him. That's for sure. He's not going to abandon him.
He speaks very highly of him every opportunity when he's asked about him. You know.
Yeah,
I don't see anybody. I really don't see anybody taking that position off Tav. Certainly not this season. I think if anything's going to happen, right back wise, it's going to be next summer before anything.
No, you're absolutely right, Rudy. The best we could get and hope for, in my opinion, is a youngster coming in from the sort of the youth teams at right back, or indeed Ross McCrory, who people have said put him in at right back type of thing, or wait till the January. It depends how well he plays. If the manager wants to chop and change, he's going to be limited on the right side. The left side looks quite good. That boy Barisic is really good going down the wing. So we know he's got quite strong there, and he's no bad when he comes back. He's a good defender. Whereas we know that Tavernier is good going forward, but not the greatest defender in the whole world. That's the difference, and we need to watch what we're doing. So he might have to adjust his defence and put the 3 centre backs in. And give us a 3-5-2, or even a 5-3-2 or something like that, you know.
Anyway, we've also been joined by Blue Shadow. How we doing, Blue?
No bad, Oz. No bad.
Hiya, Blue.
Hi, Blue. Sir, how we doing, mate? How are you, Rudy?
What's on your mind, mate?
I'll tell you what's on my mind. 25 million my ass to replace James Tavernier. What's his name? Buckeye from Osijek. played the second game at right back.
He was a good player, wasn't he, Blue?
Yep, and he was the one that's supposed to be second to Barisic. So Barisic cost us 2.5 million. So he's less than that. So go and get him. So he's good defensively. He's good going forward, and I think he'll be more consistent with delivery probably than Tavernier as well. And we could take a bid that we were offered mid the start of the season for Tavernier, if you want to be harsh. I know it's been a bit harsh because Tav's not done that much wrong, but as it says, he'll never be a fullback. If you're expecting him to be a fullback, you're wasting your time.
Blue Shadow. Blue Shadow, I think we've got to be honest. James Tavernier couldn't keep Wayne's out close, could he?
He's certainly by far not. He's never a fullback in a million years, as I said. As a wing back, possibly, and as a backup. But then you've got Flanagan as well. Which one, and really, Tavernier's the more saleable of the two.
Well, do you know, I'm missing Ibrox loyal for because his wee polls are great for some lads. I know the Windies just.
That's all right. You've got Ulster. He could do it for you.
What do you think?
To be fair, it's not the same. Ulster gives you the right stats.
Ulster gets the numbers right. But if we'd have got £2.5 million, £3 million offer for Tav, how many would have took it?
Oh, Fox.
No, me anyway. I can tell you when you accepted that.
If we go to watch. I mean, I know that we lost 3 goals at Motherwell and Tav was arguably involved in 2 of them. But I don't know if they were completely all his fault because there was other things happening. But if you go to watch it, sometimes when we lose a game with them True Blue, that we always have somebody that we have to pick out that's a whipping boy.
Aye, but Tav, I mean, as I say, I see Fox's point and I see Travel's point and all, but you can go back to the Scottish Cup final against Hibs with Tav, and listen, I'm not eating a guy here. What I'm saying is he's either a halfback and leave him at halfback. He's no right back at all, He really isn't. In times like that, I was gutted that Scottish Cup final. I thought he was to blame for 2 of the goals there as well, and you can't afford that in cup finals.
I agree with you, Drew. You can also go back You can also go back to the 2 games at Tynecastle where we got absolutely pumped. He was responsible, in my opinion, for 2 goals in each game. I know the two games at Tynecastle last season. Right.
The same time.
Let Fox come in.
Look, sorry, pal.
I was just going to say, you have spent the last 4 or 5 weeks praising the manager and how he knows everything about players and football. He's put his trust in Tav, but you all disagree with him tonight.
Well, can I come in that? What I've been trying to say is we see his weakness, and I'm saying that the manager, if the manager's going to play him, he's his captain. He's going to play him. There's not much anyone can say about it. However, if he's going to make any changes, he can't make any changes transfer-wise, at least until January. So that is either going to have him in the team or he's not, because he is his captain, so he will be in the team. So is it going to be a wee nip here and there? Is he going to push him up into sort of half-back area there, wing-back area? Is he going to have him running up there? Or is he going to continue with him at right back and let him do what he does? If he does, all I'm saying is they'll have to push a bit more support. They can't leave Goldson out there. Goldson's too valuable a player to be out there covering for a right back. So they're going to have someone else that's going to do that covering. That's what happens.
What's the point? Wait a minute, let me just come in. Fox, is the point you're trying to make who you're going to trust with our team is Stephen Gerrard, MBE, over 100 England caps, or Roger the Cabin Boy? Is that the point?
Aye, exactly what I'm saying.
Right, okay. I just wondered, just so you can clarify that.
That was a low blow, mate. Can I just respond to what Fox is? And you're right. The manager is the man that makes the calls, and I'm no doubting Stephen Gerrard for a minute. Stephen Gerrard identified where the problems were, and I think the man's got to be congratulated for some of the signings that we've made here. the weak points, we all looked at it. We knew your central defence was really soft. The goalkeeper, there was always questions about the goalkeeper. He sorted that. I'm no disputing that. He's went out and made some good signings. Koulibaly looked a cracking player, and unfortunately we've lost him to injury. What I'm saying, and James Tavernier was no an area that I would have been desperate to focus on when we had this transfer window and getting ready for the new season. You're right. He was not the biggest problem. The manager has sorted out the problems that were our biggest concern, and I think we can all be delighted with the players that we've got in. Katic looks a smasher, young player. I can see him being a big money return for us with Katic. Goldson looks a cracker, potential captain in the making. All I'm saying now is, see that we've shored up some of the other problems. I think it's maybe making James Tavernier beginning to look like the weak point, and it's fair enough saying our manager has spotted it and is willing to stick with Tavernier. Other managers have spotted it and they're willing to play on Tavernier. The European ties, they've hit us on that side. The Rotters on Sunday, they kept trying to hit us on that side. So all I'm saying, Fox, is that he's getting flagged up now as something that we need to focus on. And it might be playing Candeas in front of him. He looks a better player when he's got somebody. He just looked a wee bit more exposed again at the weekend.
All right, can I just change the subject a wee bit, and we'll be joined by yourself and Blues come into the call. Obviously, in the social media in the last day or so, there's been a lot of talk about the tickets and the prices for the Europa Cup ties. Just wanted your thoughts as a season ticket holder, travel rug, on the packages, etc. I know that some people, because they've been paying up their season tickets, it's hundreds and hundreds of pounds it's due to come out their account. But that's the choices you make, isn't it?
Yeah. It's funny, Bridge was talking about it earlier, how we've not had this group stage feeling for a long time. I can remember the same then. It used to be when you got the bill coming in for the Champions League, you think, well, where am I going to get the money for to pay for these tickets? But you always did do it. You always managed to find it. And we've all been loving this crest of a wave we're on, winning games, winning the League Cup. The Ayr United tickets money is going to be coming out soon for guys as well. You're right, some boys are paying the season tickets up in the instalments. That's probably all due to come out. There's some guys have been paying for away ties. Even the away game at the weekend there, it's probably going to be 50 quid for some of the guys. I'm not really too disappointed or too annoyed about the cost of the ticket. I just think they could have either had it in an instalment set up for guys, or extend the. I mean, the first tie isn't until when? The 20th of September. Yeah, but that's the away tie. When's the first home game? Is that the 4th of October?
2 weeks later.
Nice. So I think maybe could have put it to. And here's another thing: could they have put it to the end of the month when boys have got their wages coming in? Would that have? I know they've extended it to the 19th or something. Could they not have put it to the end of the month, and then that means that boys have got their wages in? It might be easier to pay it. But that's the only side. I'm not bothered about how much I need to pay. That's just the success. Exactly. But maybe they could have just been a wee bit more sympathetic to boys that are hard-working boys. They're spending their money on their families and buying tickets for Wayne's and everything. So they could have given them a wee bit of leeway. That's the only criticism I'd have for the club on that one.
True Blue, Blue Shadow, then True Blue.
It's a lot of money to find for people, you know. I'm not denying that. I mean, I must admit, I buy tickets as per when I can get up and when I can afford it and all the rest of it. So I'd say finding the money for the whole lot. I've got nothing but admiration for these boys that managed to do that. So I really can't criticise anybody. So I would rather just let it move on.
True Blue.
Aye, well, I take Travel's point, you know, about the end of the month when people get paid. It's obviously,
I can't believe it.
Aye, it's obviously easier, you know, but 30 quid, what's it in Valencia, Dynamo Spartak? I mean, Vienna, they mean nothing to me.
I see what you done there, mate.
Brilliant.
I think it's a good deal for three games, 3 European ties. Definitely.
Well, I've been clamouring on supporting the club, but maybe I thought the tickets were priced at 30 quid, so they're priced at 35. Is a fiver a big deal, Fox?
I don't know if you can look at it just as a fiver, mate. I think the boys made good points. Some guys are probably trying to make plans to go to some of these away European trips as well, and it's a lot of money to lay out. If you're paying up your season ticket, mate, surely they could have came to some sort of deal where the £105 comes off you once you've paid up your season ticket. I don't think Rangers at this moment are that desperate for money that.
Oh, that's a good idea, mate.
That those that can't afford it but have been season ticket holders deserve a wee break. The fans have backed this club all the way through the divisions and we've suffered badly. First time we get a big turn, mate, you've got to go out and go out your way to help the support to be able to afford it.
Bridgeman.
I can only speak from my personal perspective. There's not going to be a problem from my perspective. I'm going to get a £72 package. As simple as that, guys. But the truth is, as I said earlier, I'm sure that somewhere along the line, Rangers, just like Fox said there, I'm sure they'll come to some sort of arrangement. That is, if the extension thing doesn't work for everybody, they'll maybe get it extended from another day, another 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is, as long as it doesn't run over the point. I'm not 100% sure how it works or how they intend it to work. But the truth is, I think the £35, people might think that's just a wee bit too much, a top price for a ticket at Ibrox for a European game. Personally speaking, because I'm in the lower area there, it doesn't really matter a great deal to me that way. But really and truly, I don't. If the club puts one to 35 quid, I'm happy. If I wasn't an old age pension, I'd still be paying it. I'd pay that. It's the 30 fixture. It is for the club. It's another way of putting investment into the club as well. Go out there and get your tickets, guys. It'll be sold out. 100% sure it'll be sold out. 100%.
All right, Rudy.
That's a good point that Bridgeman makes there. There's, there is, as you can see on social media, some of the boys are struggling. It's been a lot of money. Purely simply down to the fact that boys are paying for their season tickets. You've had 8 European games. 4 of them at home and 4 away. So some of the boys want to go away. Want to have a wee jolly and Europe and stuff. They've had to pay for the home games and the qualifiers, Europa League qualifiers as well, and it is a lot of money. My personal opinion on £105 for the 3-match package, I don't really have a problem with it. Hopefully I'll get it to the 3 of them, hoping to do so anyway. And I don't really have that much of a problem, but I can understand why boys would have a problem with it, due to the fact that they're still trying to pay half season tickets and stuff like that. It is a big chunk of money for a family man as well, if you've got a kid there too, That's a lot of money.
Taking the kids away, but I like Fox's idea about saying, right, okay, you get the 3 tickets, but it's on the price of your season ticket and an instalment. I like that.
Yep. It's a good suggestion. Maybe the club maybe could look at that now. Does somebody maybe get in touch with them and say, look, you've got to kind of restructure this differently. For the my kids are up and gone. I don't have sort of wee ones to take to the game or anything like that. So at the end of the day, it's something that's a good suggestion. Maybe the club could look at that.
Hi, Big Ulster, me and you being the younger guys in here, is there a different generation? What's your thoughts on it, mate?
All the big money, man. Big pensions.
You're on about big pension.
He's running me to the pond so I can get mine.
I think the issue is you've got a lot of obviously if you want to get the best price on flights, you've got boys all across, obviously here and Scotland, trying to get to Vienna and trying to get to, where's the other first home? You have Villarreal. So you've got people trying to book for flights. So a lot of money would have come out of a lot of birds' pockets because you have to book quick. You know yourselves, once the fixtures comes out, you have to book and get yourself on because the prices just go crazy. Same as probably the Birds over here. A lot of season ticket holders over here would have to fork out the money because as soon as the Ibrox fixtures come out, the first thing you have to do is book days off work. Then you have to book your flights there and back again, and you have to get your accommodation. It's a lot of money. Even if you're doing day trips on the buses, it's a lot of money. And it's not that the 105 is overpriced. You know, I think it's maybe fair, but I just think, you know, trying to take that out, you know, given 3 days notice, given how much people's paying to go to the home games and away games, is a bit of a mad decision. But I welcome the club, you know, seeing the light and changing that, you know. But I can see why people are a wee bit peed off about it, you know, because a lot of money's coming out of a lot of Bears' pockets recently.
Bridges going on a saga cruise to Valencia, and that'll get us to the Villarreal.
Hey, well, I mean, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Ox. See,
you're not driving the boat, are you?
I'm going to sell my body. Get a few quid for that.
You're not getting enough for one of the tickets.
Ox, no, just before you leave that point, I just want to say one thing. I've seen a lot of things on Twitter about Rangers supporters clubs have put messages out and saying to their own members, look, if we can help you out to pay for the tickets, that's what the supporters club will do what it can. I mean, we're talking about the supporters club are going out and helping and supporting their own members, and that's a fantastic gesture for some of these clubs. And I've seen countless ones on Twitter today putting these messages out to their guys, and they're looking after their own, and I think that's a brilliant gesture, and I think they all need to be applauded for it. And that once again, it hammers home how important that supporters club are to our club and our supporters, and we should never ever ever forget that.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. That's our club does the exact same thing for us. Exact same thing, because we're obviously booking hotels and booking flights. The club take the hit. It means you have to put a lot of work in, obviously, when you're doing functions and dues, so the club can afford it. But the club would book everything, and basically the rules in our club is you have to have the payments in before you go to that match. So like, so we're coming over to St Johnstone, say it's £100. You get so much, you know, you get the time from say now until the game. You can't go on the trip unless you've paid it. That's the rules, but you get time to pay it. And I think that's the way forward, you know. Look out for your own, as long as your members are paying it, you know, but it gives them a wee bit of time, bit of leeway as well.
Talking about looking out for your own, just want to put something out there. Just again, it's the Blue Pound, but for a worthy cause. Rangers are going to send a team through to the Falkirk Stadium on Sunday, October the 21st, to play a benefit match for David Hagan. Kick-off 1 p.m. and it'd be good to see as many Bears there as possible. Obviously, we know that David's got the motor neuron disease, a tragic illness for anybody to get. So, again, a worthy cause. And I suppose there will be a number of Bears go along to the game to raise funds. Ulster, great point, mate. And it's great travel rug that the supporters buses are getting in there and helping their members, mate. It's difficult. Finances, money. It's always hard through Blue.
Sorry, mate. I was on mute there.
Doing the captain.
Aye, in case I'm buzzing again. I think the club should. I think there's a kind of synergy here. You know, when we know the club, you know, we've bought practically a new team. The club's been out a lot of money. You know, we've got a share issue coming up and all the rest of it. But the Bears have supported the club through thick and thin. You know, and there is a. You know, it's scratching each other's backs, I suppose. You know, but. I think they're reasonable. I think the prices are reasonable for European games. I really do.
All right, Fox, talking about that. Fox, how's the training going for the big tournament on Saturday, mate?
Oh, going well, mate. We've got them sober for the first time in 5 years, so that should be a bonus. And we've picked up a couple of wee tips, mate, that we're going to use on the day. We're going to turn that stumps. We're not out to win it. We're just there to turn their stumps. That's the main thing. All Max now been assigned as being the physio, so that should boost the boys as well.
Matt's got a magic hip flash, no a magic sponge.
I'll bet you Fox goes in with a groin strain.
That'll be hard for me, mate. I'll be in the bar.
He's done it before, mate, when it was his round. Oh, my groin. So are we confident that we're going to surpass last year's effort?
Aye, we're hoping to get at least one ball down the length of the green, mate.
You're going to avoid getting the jail walks?
That's not very nice, Trevor. That only happened 3 times when I was out with Fox. Great. All right, well, a great update. Just while we're talking about supporters buses and good stuff there, Travel, with the tweets and that. Tomorrow night we'll be joined by Stuarty Daniels, who's been involved with the Kinningback Loyal for over 40 years. And we'll see what Stuart's got to say. It'll be interesting to see what he's got to say. Some bears will know him, some won't. He's a character. Just quickly, pass or fail. Start of the season, pass or fail. Bridge.
Pass for me.
Travel.
Oh, definite pass.
Fox.
A pass.
Blue Shadow.
A pass, definitely.
Rudy.
Yeah, pass for me.
Ulster.
Yep, pass as well.
That's not an easy please, True Blue, isn't it? What about yourself, mate?
That's a 2 from True.
Yes, very good.
And a pass for me. The big picture. It's important we see it, Fox. The big picture where we're going.
Aye, we'll get there when we get there. Might be this season.
Yep. Anyway, gentlemen, thanks for taking the time. Bridgeman, we've reached that time.
Another marvellous night, guys. Well done. Thanks to everybody. Really brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, keep it going for the Rangers, please, because the Rangers need us.
Yep. Can I thank yourself, Bridge, Travel Rug, Fox, Blue Shadow, Rudy Bear, True Blue, and Big Ulster. But more importantly, William, who joined us earlier on. Great call, William, and great to hear from you again. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Fox.
The English have Charlton, the Irish George Best, the Welsh have Big Davis, you know, ken the rest. Let the French win the derby, let the Yanks have the moon, but leave me the Rangers, the pride of the toon. They're the idols of Scotland, and each game they play, they try and they fight till the end of the game. When victory's theirs, in my heart they will ring this chorus. I hope that you'll help me to sing. It's Rangers, it's Rangers, it's Rangers for me. If you know a Ranger, you know used to me. The heads and the hearts and the thistle are proud, but they can't beat the Rangers, the pride of them all. And soon they'll agree. It's Rangers, it's Rangers, it's Rangers for me. So here's to the lads in the royal blue, and here's to the lassies who follow them too. I don't want the hips, the hearts or the selves. I wish them the best, but I'll never forget. It's Rangers, it's Rangers, it's Rangers for me. If you know a Ranger, you know used to me. The heads and the hearts and the thistle are proud, but give me the Rangers, the pride of them all. It's Rangers, it's Rangers, it's Rangers for me. If you know proud, but